Morning. How is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to a brand new month of content. I am aware that it's still the end of June, but for me, this is when I kind of refresh everything. We rejuvenate, we reset, we get ready for a full summertime blast of tropical action here on DSP Gaming, and today is no exception. Today I'll be talking to you, about my day off and everything that went down, the chaos that was Friday, because Friday did not go according to plan whatsoever, and more. We're gonna get a good preview of this coming week. I'm very, very excited for this week because not only do we have continuing and fun playthroughs, chill vibes, additions to ongoing stuff, but also Indivestance Day is this coming Friday. And it can't get here soon enough. Got some plans lined up for it. And so, I hope that you're ready for the fun. Sit back and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a week-starting Summertime Vibes episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today is Sunday, the 29th of June, 2025. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast, starting up a fresh new week of content here on the channel and summertime fun as we now head into full-on summer vibes. That's right. Continuing playthroughs such as Death Stranding 2, ending playthroughs like Blueprints, and starting up new playthroughs like Grand Theft Auto 4, now with many, many mods on PC. But in addition, all of the chill late night streams that we've been doing, including American Truck Simulator, Mario Kart World, Minecraft, and Street Fighter, Capcom vs. SNK 2. All of that stuff continuing on and culminating at the end of this week, celebrating our national independence here in the United States, but also Indivestance as the vests and hats return for a one-day-only marathon event on Friday. I can't wait. It's going to be a great week. Like, this is actually a really good week of content stacked here, and I hope that you guys are ready. All right? So, before we get to anything new, before we preview the week, I think we got to talk about the crazy day that Friday was, because I've had some time to sit back and think about it. The craziness that happened, if you're not aware. So, on Friday, I was doing a normal stream of Death Stranding 2, okay? And, we were actually the second stream, so this is a big one where you're going to have your big first boss fight. You're fighting the BTs, which are the enemies of the game. So we're getting more into the actual gameplay loop of what the game will be, rather than just the deliveries, which is primarily what the first stream was. And as I'm playing, right as we're getting to the point where you're coming out of the safe room and you're going to prepare for what is probably going to be a big boss fight, I heard the most blood-curdling, crunching, cranking, cracking, metal on glass on weird, I couldn't tell what it was, crazy loud sound right here in my office, okay? And I'm like, what in the hell? At first, I had no idea what it was because it was so loud. It scared me. You'll see if you watch the videos from Friday, the end of that first video, which I think is part 4 of Death Stranding 2, you see all of a sudden I'm right here, and all of a sudden I start looking over like, what the hell is that? Because I thought, legit, I thought someone broke my window. That's how loud it was. It sounded like I thought someone had thrown something at my front window of my house and broke the glass. So here I am thinking, oh my God, thank God that I have these curtains in place. Because if I didn't, glass shards might have come through or something. Who even knows what's going on? So come to find out, it was my air conditioner. All right. Now, I have a lot more information on this now because during my day off, I unhooked it, investigated, and I have a replacement. But it was just so crazy because the sound was so loud. You would like, how could it be the air conditioner? So I turned off the air conditioner. All right. And then when I turned it back on, I just kept hearing it cracking like loud. I was like, oh my God. It sounded like the motor in the air conditioner was going to explode. So I turned it off and said, man, I guess for the rest of the day, I just got to tough it out. And I did it. It was warm. Like it was, I like to keep it a nice around 75 in here during the day when I'm streaming. But, with no air conditioner, the temperature spikes. So it went from 75 up to 78, up to 82 on that first stream. By the night stream of CVS2, Capcom versus SNK2 for Friday Night Fights, it was 87 degrees in here all night. So I was sweating it out, but I said, I'm going to end the week. I'm not going to cancel the streams. We're going to tough through it. I'm glad I did because, man, there was some really good stuff that happened on stream, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That Friday Night Fights was one of the best Friday Night Fights I've ever done in the history of me doing fighting games on Fridays. It actually was great high-level gameplay. So we'll chat about that in a minute here. Basically, I had no air conditioner all day. Now, here's the thing. That air conditioner, it's an indoor air conditioner. It's not one of the ones that you put in your window because this window is one of the side slider windows. You can't put a normal window air conditioner into the window here. It's just not possible. In fact, all of our windows are side sliders. We have no up-down windows in the house. So all the air conditioners have to be the freestanding, roll them around your house style, okay? So, 11 freaking years I've had that thing. And the funny part is some people are like, well, why don't you have central air? Because I live in Washington State, and it wasn't until recently that our climate changed to have hot summers. When I moved out here, I was told we're actually just starting to get hot summers. It didn't used to be like this. Like summertime here used to be like 70, 80 degrees tops, which is not that hot. If you're someone who doesn't use degrees Fahrenheit, I know there's a conversion there. You'd be like, oh, that sounds insanely hot. It's 70 to 80 degrees is typically warm weather with the sun out, around this time of year. But all of a sudden, when I moved out here 11 years ago, I was told, oh, now we're starting to get like a month of the year that's like 90 to 100 degrees, which is not like how it used to be. So what happened is when all these homes out here were built, they weren't built with central air. They were just built with a very basic vent system that does heat, but doesn't do air conditioning. So no one has air conditioning. I'm not kidding. No one has it. And when I first moved in 11 years ago, it was so hot that first summer for like a month. I had a guy come in and look at the system. And he said, yeah, basically the way these homes are designed out here, they're not set up for central air. You would have to redo the entire duct working in the house. Because he's like, right now, if we were to install a big central air conditioner for you out back, only your bottom floor would be cool. None of the air would get upstairs because this is not designed for it. They would have to rip everything out, put in new ductwork, and then finally it would work. And I mean, this was 11 years ago. The guy said that would probably cost you between $13,000 to $16,000. That was 11 years ago. Now, with the past decade of inflation, how much you want to bet it would be like $25,000 to $30,000, right? So who can afford that? I don't have $30,000 just sitting around for a rainy day. You know what I mean? So instead, I have to have these indoor air conditioners. So that first year, I bought one indoor air conditioner that I put in this room, and that served me for over a decade. Over the years, I've bought more. I have a large AC unit. We have that over in the bedroom, and I have a third AC unit that I have across the hall. So we have two here blowing cold air down the hallway with a system of fans. Yes, we have all these standing fans that blow the cold air down the hall. Then we have the big air conditioner on the other side blowing through into the hall into another big fan, and all of that blows the cool air downstairs. It actually works. It took a while to figure out this system, but it actually works nicely. And even on hot days now, downstairs is still pretty cool. So even though we don't have central air, we're all right. But this thing breaking like this scared the living crap out of me, of course, because of the noise. And, I'll be honest, 11 years is a long time. That air conditioner already had problems. For example, sometimes it would vibrate so much, I had to put my heavy-ass Xbox One console, the one I used to use for content, I put it back in its box, and I would put that giant heavy box on top of it to hold it in place so it wouldn't, vibrate around and shit. Okay? In addition, the thing was really smelly. When I started turning it on this year, I was like, oh God, why does it smell so bad? I mean, it's old. It's full of dust and dirt and pollen, and there's nothing you can do about that. How are you going to air clean it, right? What am I going to do? Take it outside and blast it? I can't. It's too heavy. So you get to a point where it's it's time to retire it. Probably once a decade is a good idea to retire an air conditioner and get a new one. So I did. But the one that I had to get, because I needed it right away. In fact, today, it's going to be in the 80s outside. Tomorrow and Tuesday, it's actually supposed to be hot, like summertime hot here. So I knew I needed a new air conditioner right away. And the only ones that could be delivered right away were not tried and true American brands. One of the air conditioners I have is a Honeywell, and the other one I have is a Black & Decker. All right? Those are American brands. I had to get a Chinese brand off of Amazon that I have no idea if I can trust it or not, to be frank. So, we'll see. So far, it's nice, but it definitely works differently than my other one. Basically, here's how it works. You set it to a temperature you want. So I have it set it to 75 degrees. When it goes above 75, it turns on, it cools the room. But once it hits 75, it just turns right off completely. The fan won't even stay on. And I was like, the fan won't stay on? No, it just either, when you have it on cooling mode, it's either on cooling the room or completely off. It doesn't stay on fan. Now I can just turn it on fan, but then there's no cold coming out of it. So I guess it's different from the other one. I guess we'll see. I don't know. So far, it's nice. And by the way, I will say this. The old one was heavy as shit. All right. Even though it was supposed to be portable, it was always heavy as shit. I remember getting it into this office was a pain in the ass because it was so heavy trying to get it up the stairs and everything. And yesterday, getting it downstairs, wow. I have a hand cart and a whole bunch of bungee cables, thankfully, because if I didn't, that thing would have never gotten downstairs. It weighs a ton. So here I am, with the handcart and bungee cables trying to get it down the stairs slowly without it losing control and careening down our staircase, which is a very long staircase. But I got it out. I got it down. So, oh, by the way, I found out what actually broke in it, okay? In reality, the motor didn't break. I thought it was the motor that had broken. No. So I guess this air conditioner, okay, has all these different components to it. Apparently, it has a whole bunch of plastic parts on the inside. Now, anyone who knows anything about science, stuff like that, chemicals, and you would say plastic on the inside of an air conditioning unit. Isn't plastic malleable? Isn't plastic it can change with temperature? Yes, plastic can change with temperature. It can. If it gets too warm, it can melt or contort or change shape. If it gets too cold, it can get brittle and it can break. If it goes from hot to cold to hot to cold, it'll wear out. So why they put plastic components on the inside of an air conditioner, besides, oh, we're cheap and we want to save money, that's the only thing I can think of, okay? So what happened was, there were plastic pieces on the inside that have, I guess, over 11 years finally wore out. And I guess a piece broke off and flew inside of the motor. The motor then kept moving and crunched it up. But then because those pieces were fucked up, it was shooting them out and it was hitting the other plastic and the plastic was brittle. And then all that shit started falling. into it. So every time I turned it on, it was just crunching plastic. Because when I started to move it and I took the duct off, because you have to have the whole air tube and everything on it to get it to work. When I took it off, all this broken plastic starts pouring out of it. Like, it looks like broken glass. It's not. It's plastic, but that's what I mean. It shouldn't be like that. That plastic had worn out over the years and completely lost its plasticity. Basically, it was very brittle and all this. It was discolored. Like, you could tell originally it was supposed to be white, and it was all like dark beige, like disgusting, you know? So, it was pretty gross. And at that point, I was like, well, I'm sure if I was like a technician, I could have opened it, ordered replacement plastic parts, installed them, and kept using that air conditioner. But like I said, I've been using it for 11 years. It smelled. It was disgusting. If the components are wearing out, what's the next thing to wear out, right? So I said, it's time to get rid of it. So we did. And the new air conditioner, in its actual defense, even though it's Chinese made, was light as shit. I was able to get that thing upstairs without a handcart or anything. The handles were in a good position where you could just lift and go up a couple stairs, a couple stairs, a couple stairs. And it was very easy to install. Actually was easier to install than my old one. This one now, when you put these filler into your window, basically what you have to do is there's plastic slats that you fill your window in, and then you close your window to the side of it and you tape it up. This had like its own way to secure it and lock it. Like, it actually had a locking mechanism so it stays in place. The other ones I have don't even have that. You have to tape it up, or there's like a little tab you can stick in the side and it's loose and it doesn't work well. This one actually had like this thing they had like designed to lock it into your window easily. So the installation wasn't a big deal. And like I said, it's working right now. The odd thing about it, though, is that it's turning on and off. So like right now it's off. So it's actually very quiet in the office. Then all of a sudden it'll hit like 76, and then it turns on for like 5 minutes. It just turned on now. And now I hear the fan, and now I hear it running. It's not loud by any means, and I'm happy about that. It actually is much quieter than my old air conditioner. My old air conditioner used to turn on and go, "Arr." This one doesn't vibrate, nor does it sound like that. And it's cooling. I feel it right now. It's cooling the office very nicely. So, crisis averted. Sucks that I had to drop like $400 out of nowhere to get this thing, but it is what it is. And the good news is the big air conditioner that I have isn't nearly as old. I think I want to say I bought that maybe like 3 to 4 years into living here. And the other one is only a few years old. So those should last a while still before I have to look to replace them. And it shouldn't be a big deal. And now we should be set for the season. Like, I don't have to worry about anything else going wrong. We should be nice and cool in here no matter what we're doing. And it won't make a lot of noise. Not that you heard it anyway, because now I have so many nice mic filters and all my equipment's been upgraded. You didn't hear it anyway, right? But it's good to know that now I have a good working piece of equipment, especially because, they're predicting later on, not this month coming up, but probably around August, it might be really hot. So we'll be ready for it. So it was a pretty crazy 48 hours for me. And I'm all sore because, of course, I was moving air conditioners around yesterday. My back is like really sore, but what can you do? So what I'd like to talk about is two things. Number one, because all of this happened on Friday, it happened as I was about to engage the first boss of Death Stranding 2. So here's what I remember. Sam is coming up the elevator, all right, in a cutscene, basically, and then this thing breaks. So I pause it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out because I don't know what the hell just happened. Then I remember fighting the boss and being like, why don't I have enough weapons to fight this boss? So everyone's yelling at me and is like, well, you didn't make any weapons to fight the boss. I'm like, what are you talking about? The game just threw me right into the boss fight. And everyone's like, no, it didn't. And I was like, it didn't? Didn't you come up the lift and immediately have to fight the boss? No. What happened was, because the air conditioner broke, it I got mind-addled, basically. Like, I was like shell-shocked. So I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in the game. And apparently I ran right into the first boss like an idiot without fabricating the guns and the grenades that I needed to fight it. And then after the fact, I was angry because I was like, why is there no weapons for this fight? So I know that now because people yelled at me and were like, no, Phil, no, really, that happened. I said, what? And I went back and I watched the video. I was like, they're right. What happened is the air conditioner completely distracted me And it's like a Leroy Jenkins situation, right? Like everyone's like, okay, we got a plan. There's something big right around the corner. Here's what we should do. And then the dude just comes back to his computer. Let's do it, Leroy Jenkins. And then they all get fucked up because they weren't ready. So that's what happened. I take full responsibility for it. All right, that was on me. It's because I'm getting older. And basically, I jumped right back into the game and wasn't paying attention whatsoever at what was going on. It's my fault. But at the time, I was upset. I'm like, why did Kojima throw you into this boss fight with nothing? Now I don't have enough to kill this boss. And oh, look, at least he put these characters that are throwing you items so that you can use the items in the boss fight. Because if he didn't do that, how could you ever beat this boss? And everyone's like, dude, you were at the stand to fabricate the weapons for the boss, and the game told you like 10 times there's a boss. You ignored it. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, again, I take responsibility for it. So that first boss fight, honestly, the first boss fight wasn't that bad. The annoying part about the first boss fight is that when you get hit, you drop all your items. And then it's frustrating because people were yelling at me like, why are you picking them back up? Because those are the items you need to hit the boss. If you don't pick up the gun and the grenades, you can't hit the boss. So you have to keep picking them up repetitively. And that is kind of annoying and frustrating. But if I had gone into the fight with enough weapons, I probably would have just destroyed him without ever getting hit once. But what can you do? Right? I'm an idiot. So there you go. And I apologize I apologize to Kojima-san. I apologize to all the fans out there. No one cares. Who are you kidding me? People loved it. People loved that shit. They were laughing their asses off at it to see me suffer on the first boss of a game that's supposed to be a tutorial boss that's easy. Everyone laughed and it was fine. But, people want to try to blow it up and act like it's some big thing. No one gives a shit. To be honest with you guys, not a lot of people are watching the Death Stranding 2 playthrough. I'm not shocked. Infamously, the game is known as a boring game. And as I'm playing it, people are telling me it's boring. So it's like, I wasn't expecting a giant audience for this game. I've gotten more of an audience for every single release this year besides, this is like one of the least viewed new games that I've gotten. No one's really caring about it. I mean, here we are days into it, and I think part 1 doesn't even have 2,000 views on it. I don't think anyone cares. So, it is what it is. I'm going to keep playing it today, and we'll see if it gets better. I think today we're finishing up the tutorial of the game, meaning we're heading back to the beginning where, excuse me, where the whole thing started. And I think what's going to happen is then the game's actually going to pick up and the real story will begin. I really feel like this whole first 8 hours is the intro before you get into what the real plot's going to be. Okay, I don't think that's hooking up Mexico to be into the chiral network was really the goal of the game. I think that was just like to introduce you to the game elements. Okay. Okay. All right. So what I really want to talk about was Friday night, because Friday night was awesome. If you like old school fighting games, if you like Friday night fights, if you like seeing me in a very challenging, high-end, high-level fighting game environment, that's what Friday Night Fights was all about on Friday night. It was Capcom versus SNK 2, and I played against 2 people who were actually very good at the game. Tony B from Connecticut, and then VDO, who's well known in the competitive fighting game community from back in the day for both Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, and some other games too. So this was awesome because both of them are kind of specialists. Like Tony is good with K and C groove. I think he plays some A groove too, but he's good with K and C groove. And then Video is a P groove specialist. Like he only plays P groove. He's always picked like the same 7-8 characters, but he's incredibly good with them. He's won tournaments. So this was great gameplay where I was very challenged to on the fly learn their styles and try to adapt to them, utilizing all the things that I learned about CVS2 in the last month and a half that I've been playing against randoms online. Okay. It was great. Seriously, it was like really high-end back and forth gameplay. Some rounds I dominated, some rounds they dominated, some rounds were insanely close nail-biters where it could have gone either way. And it was just amazing. Like, it was super fun. Now, was it laggy? Fuck yes, it was. All these games lag online. They're terrible. That's the problem. There's no way to play this shit online without lag. So you're going to see teleporting and you're going to see bullshit. All right? But it went really, really well. I had a great time doing it. And I want to say thanks to Tony B and VDO, but I already talked to them after the fact, and they were like, yeah, those matches lagged, but they were fun. That's what it's all about. So here's the thing. So many idiots out there actually like to pretend like I'm not good at fighting games, even though everyone knows who actually watches me play fighting games that I'm quite good at them. All right. If you actually want to see me in a really great set against two great players, high-end gameplay, stuff that you can learn from, but also have a good time watching, because it's people who respect each other, beating the crap out of each other, check out Friday Night Fights from Friday night. The first whole video is me against Tony B and then a couple randoms. The second video is VDO and then a couple randoms. It's really good stuff. All right. I hope that you'll watch it. It will 100% be ignored by anyone who doesn't like me, because God forbid there be evidence out there that I actually know that what I'm doing and I'm competent in fighting games. I mean, it was a really, really good gameplay. Okay. Now, I'm very happy to play more later on this week, but the schedule this week's going to be different because we have Indivestance Day on Friday night. All right. So we'll talk about that in a sec. But what I'd like to say is, please take a look below at the leaderboard. As you can see, last week, everything went very well, incredibly well supported. We are currently at 37 out of 40 goals hit. We are 3 goals away from the next DSP Tries It celebration. And this one is a good one. This one is a special meal launching at Sonic fast food restaurants tomorrow. It is the Grillo's Pickle Collaboration Meal, a special smash burger that has regular pickle chips, fried pickle chips, and a special dill ranch sauce, plus pickle seasoned fries or tater tots, and a pickle frozen drink that's lime with a whole bunch of boba pods in it that are full of like pickle flavoring. So it's a very unique situation because it's a great, special collab meal. And I'm in position to do it on launch day. But I need you guys to make it happen because we got to hit 40 goals. We're currently at 37 out of 40. That means we got to hit 3 goals today and on the first stream tomorrow in order to unlock DSP Tries It Grillo's Pickle Menu. So we got to get some support rolling this morning. All right. It's a brand new week. It's time to get that momentum moving in the right direction, shall we? So we got our first super chat of the week from Tag. It's $2. And he says, you can tie your loot with the strand for its scatter. Huh? You can tie your loot with the strand for its scatter. I think he got cut off and it didn't finish typing. I think what he's trying to say is, in Death Stranding, there's a way to tie your loot together with the strand so it doesn't scatter. But I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how to do that either. I'm pretty sure the game didn't explain that, did it? I don't think so. I wonder if that's coming up or something. Again, I don't think in that boss fight it was intended that you were going to go into it with no ammo and you can't fight the boss, which is what happened to me because I was distracted by my air conditioner eating plastic. Okay? So, thank you, Tag, for the first contribution. Now, guys, let's do it. Let's get some support rolling. Who's going to be the first tip of the week? Right now, who's going to tip via PayPal? Who is going to be the first new member of the week? And who will be the first sub of the week? Let's get some momentum rolling so that we can hit these goals. If we hit a goal on this stream, a goal on my late stream tonight of Truck Sim, and a goal on Blueprints tomorrow, we'll do it. We will do the Grillo's Pickle Menu tomorrow on launch day. That is my goal. That is what I want to do, and that is what we will do. What is this? I received my first tip, $3.01. This person says, oh, my nose itches. It's a shame the cologne idea didn't pan out, but it's great to see you engaged in trying new content. Would you consider doing alcohol reviews? DSP drinks it, focusing on higher end and older bottles of spirits and wines. Considering the level of support you get for marathons, it may be a feasible idea because viewers already enjoy seeing that. It's an idea. I've already said I would do that. I said instead of DSP Tries It food, that we could do like different kinds of liquor, wine. We could do that stuff. But I told everyone that I would need help with that because I'm not an aficionado. Like, I'm not. Like, I would need to know what are some things you guys would like to actually see me try so that I would know what to get and, taste test. I would definitely need help. I don't know what I'm doing. Wine, I know absolutely zero about, and good liquor, I know almost nothing about. You know what I mean? Like, I would need information. The thing is, I talked to people about it. I was like, hey, would you like that? And at first, people seemed excited. And then everyone was like, eh. I hate to say it. All right. I think that the people who complain the most are people who actually just don't want to see me succeed. I'm going to be honest about it. All right. Um, I feel that those who complain about things that are already working are those who just don't want them to work. DSP tries it doing this, food, fast food, and then every once in a while interjecting a different kind of restaurant has been working. If you haven't noticed, we're hitting our goals. It's not like, oh man, Phil's just not hitting his goals and, it's taking forever and wow, what a failure. That's not the case at all. It's actually working. People are actually really excited for this Grillo's Pickles menu. It's something interesting. 3 different things to test. The drink looks completely unique. A burger with that level of pickles on it might be pretty interesting. I don't know, it might be pickle overload, but I think it's going to be pretty good. It's not always a home run. There are times when sometimes stuff sucks, right? But take a look at the Takis menu. People really like that. The Takis menu with the horrible sandwich that was dry as a desert. It was entertaining. So here's the thing. I'm down for new stuff, but I can only make new stuff work if I have the buy-in of the audience that, number one, they're going to help me figure it out because I don't have enough knowledge to know what to do. Like, for example, if I'm going to taste test or review liquor, I need to know what's some interesting kind of liquor. Could I do like a comparison of certain kinds? I don't know anything about it. I just don't. And on top of that, I need the buy-in that people would support it. Right now, people like the DSP tries it as they are. If I start doing DSP drinks it and it's me drinking liquor and wine and taste testing things, is anyone going to care? Or are people going to be like, oh, he's doing DSP drinks it this week? Who cares about that shit? And then no one supports the streams. I don't know. And it is a risk to take to do something different. I mean, maybe this month, later in the month, we could do something new, right? Like right now, we got some stuff going on with this Grillo's Pickle menu. There is a Tony Hawk snacks meal and a new chicken tender at Taco Bell. So I'm thinking that might be the next thing we do for DSP Tries It. Plus, it's really close to the release of the new Tony Hawk collection. So kind of that makes sense to do next, perhaps. But maybe we could long-term later on in the week, later on in the month of July, we could say, hey, do you guys want to do something completely different? And we could look into it. All right. So thanks for the suggestion. I'm down. I like to hear what everyone else thinks, right? Does everyone else think that would be awesome or not? Because, like, for example, the whole cologne idea that I had was something different. It was outside the box, completely outside of my comfort zone of stuff that I would do. It's like a product review as opposed to just a food review, right? I thought, hey, let's try it a few times. Let's see if people like it or not. If they don't, it's fine. We can move on. Literally everyone shat on the idea. Before it even took off and I did a single pilot episode of it, everyone, oh, it's the worst idea DSP's ever had. No one cares about him. No one thinks that he knows anything about cologne. So fuck that. What an idiot. What a loser. It's like, but you tell me you want new stuff. So I think outside the box, let's just try something new. No, fuck new. That's a terrible, awful, to do something new, awful idea. So I've never done it, and I'm never going to. As I said, if people are going to act like that, right, then I'm just not going to bother. It sucks, but why should I put effort into trying to do something new if everyone's just going to shit on the idea before we've even tried it, right? So for now, we're sticking with DSP Tries It with food, and maybe later in the month in July, let's see how it goes. If you guys think it would work, all right, we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do it in July, but maybe not. I'm glad that you suggested it. Thanks for the tip, and let's see what other people think. Okay? All right, wow, I don't even know where to go. I've got tips, I've got subs, I got all this stuff to shout out. Let's go. Obamana actually subscribed to the channel on Kick, and what I mean by that is they paid for their own sub. It wasn't just a gifted sub that they dropped. It's an actual subscription. Thank you to Obamna for the sub. Then I received a $1.32 tip The high temperature in Renton on Friday was 67 degrees. How did it get 87 degrees at night? Because I've explained this 7,000 times and you know the answer, but for some reason you want me to repeat it again. So I'll repeat it again because you're slow. Okay. My office faces the direction of the sun all afternoon. So if it's not a completely cloudy day, if the sun even comes out for a few minutes, this room heats up like an oven. The homes in Washington are designed to retain heat. That's how they were designed because they never thought they would have hot summers. They just assumed the climate would stay the same forever. So if it even warms up a little bit, okay, this office heats up exponentially. If it's 60 something degrees outside, but there's sun, it is 80 something to 90 degrees in this room. And this room has two gaming PCs. Oh, look, a big screen TV, a monitor, a laptop, two key lights, multiple webcams, keyboards, a screen behind me, all this RGB lighting. The room is stuffy and heats up crazy because of the amount of electronics in it. Okay? So that's why. It's not just, oh, it's cool outside. So why isn't it cool in your house? Because that's not how reality works. And anyone with a brain knows that. For example, let's say you in a university or a school, there's a computer lab. Did you ever notice that in the computer lab, they have air conditioning? Do you want to know why? Because it gets hot and stuffy in there because of the computers. Now imagine having all that electronics in a small bedroom. Well, that's my situation. It's pretty self-explanatory for anyone with a brain. But not a lot of people have working ones these days. A lot of people are pretty dumb. So I guess I had to explain it again. There you go. I received a $3.02 tip from Adam. Adam, how are you? I guess he wanted to be the top tipper today, so he increased the amount by a penny. Thank you, Adam, for a $3.02 tip. Indeed, now you are the top tipper of the day. And all right, so we got all caught up? Yes. I'm not shouting out any super chats there because those were both trolls saying insulting, messed up stuff, so we ignore it. Okay? Cool. All right, so thank you guys. So, by the way, new month, new setup. Let's talk a little bit about this before we get to the schedule for the week, shall we? So, I told you guys in my ventures out and about, I'd gotten some new things that improved the setup and changed it up a bit. Well, first of all, as you can see, we've got new animations for the month, and that's both for the podcast, and I have a set of animations that I'm going to play when I'm not on the podcast, and that features all the games I'll be playing this month. Keep in mind, this month has a good variety of games, including Death Stranding 2, GTA 4 with mods, Truck Sim, Taxi Life, Mario Kart, Capcom vs. SNK 2, and then later on in the month, the Tony Hawk Collection, Donkey Kong Bonanza, excuse me. And I think there's one at the end of the month too that eludes me right now. But I basically made animations for all that stuff, and you'll see that when we're not on the podcast, okay? But as you can see, I rotated around. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm keeping something from the previous month, and then I'm swapping out for new stuff. So I kept the YouTube play button. I thought it looked really nice last month, and I said, we'll keep that in the set. But we've got the blue shell from Mario Kart. There you go. The blue shell that has been the bane of my existence, because as you know, I'm almost always in first place when I play Mario Kart World, but then people hit me with the blue shell, and I immediately end up in 25th, and I get eliminated. So, actually, is it 24th? I'm so bad, I end up in 25th. How about that? So there you go. Blue shell right there. And then on this side, I had been telling you guys that I had found something that turned an actual piece of equipment that I use into part of the set. And so as you can see, this is a stand that's translucent plastic. You can see right through it, but it actually has a light at the bottom. Now, it's actually kind of hard to see right now because with the way that this setup is, the background is kind of eating up the color. But you're going to see as I change the colors of my RGBs in the background over the course of the month, this actually will change color. And right now, it's kind of like a rainbow color on the bottom, but this like stand changes color to like red and purple and all these different colors, but you can't see it right now because the blue is so bright, it's kind of shining through. But I tested this with other backgrounds. Like I tested it with like fire colors and other lighting, and it actually looked very nice. So it's cool because you can see the headphones, but also you can see the background through them, which is kind of neat. In my office, if I get up and look at a different angle, I actually see light. Yeah, see, like right now when I get up, the bottom looks blue and purple, and this looks like bluish purple. Yeah, and pink. Yeah, it looks pink. But can't really see that from the angle it's at and with the background lighting right now. But you'll see over the course of the month, it actually looks pretty nice. And some people this morning were saying, oh, he got new headphones. No, I've had these for months. These are the headphones I bought and I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 with a couple months ago. I just haven't used them because I'm not doing anything that really needs surround sound. Like if I get back to games that are online competition with surround sound and stuff, then I'll start using those again. But I haven't used them in, a while because I'm not playing that level of game right now. So there you go. So anyway, this is one of many things. I have 2 new lamps. I didn't use either of them this month. I have another maybe 2 to 3 new things for the backdrop, and I'm not using them this month. I'm saving them up so that way we could space them out over the course of the year to have new things for the background, okay? So hope you like it. Again, as you can see, it's more minimalistic than what I used to do. I used to have giant pieces of artwork and stuff behind me, but now that I have a nice backdrop with lighting and everything, right? I'm just gonna roll with it. So I think it looks nice. I kept the wall the same, meaning I didn't change any of the colors of the wall for this month. I thought it looked fine with the blue and white, and I wanted to keep that for this month. Maybe next month I'll swap it out again back to the black, or maybe I'll put the blue behind me. We'll see. We'll see what I want to do. But I liked it looking like this, so I kept the backdrop the same. Alrighty then. Okay, so let's talk about. Oh, let's do some more shout outs. Oh, crap. I didn't even notice these. We have Ratbag35 who did a $10 super chat. That's our biggest super chat of the day so far. Thank you, Ratbag. And Tobomaru did a €5 super chat and says, hope that you have a chill stream. Well, thank you, Tobomaru. That's about $6. The euro is actually valued right now more than the dollar. It's about a $6 super chat. Thank you, Tobomaru. I appreciate that. Very nice. So we're up to $30 of support already. Thank you guys for that. Please, let's keep that momentum flowing. Let's get it so that we hit the goal by the time we start the game. That way we don't have to worry about it. We can just relax and play Death Stranding 2 today, and we've already hit a goal, and we'll only have 2 to go in order to do DSP Tries It tomorrow, all right? Who's going to be the first gifted sub over on Kick? Right now we have a legit sub. Can we get a gifted sub? How about some memberships? We have none of those today. Can we get some memberships for the community here? I see a lot of gray names in chat that would appreciate a gifted membership on YouTube. So let's get that going. All right. All right. Let's talk about the schedule for the week, and let's talk about the big marathon on Friday. I have some updates for you all in regards to liquor. That's right, because I got some interesting things to drink during the marathon on Friday. We'll talk about that in a sec. So, excuse me. This week is a good combination, a good variety of stuff. Today, Death Stranding 2 continuing. Like I said, after this major stream of it, I think we will finish the intro and actually start the real game and see how it is. I'm very curious on your feedback because, as you know, I've told you guys I haven't really committed to playing the entirety of Death Stranding 2. I'm noticing that on demand, it's not doing well. On demand, it is not getting many views at all. I mean, this playthrough has less views than the vast majority of new games that I've played this year. This is getting less views than Taxi Life, less views than Truck Sim, less views than Mario Kart, less views than Doom the Dark Ages, less views than Minecraft, like less views than everything. Which leads me to believe there's just not a big audience for this game. I don't even have 2,000 views on part 1 of Death Stranding 2 yet. So on demand, it ain't doing good. And on top of that, I'm not making anything on the videos anyway because they're all claimed. This entire playthrough is getting claimed on YouTube for the third-party licensed music. So I'm getting no money on the on-demand videos whatsoever, 0, okay? However, the first 2 streams that I have done here of Death Stranding have gotten support. So the stream viewers are here for it, just not the on-demand viewers for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm having a good time chilling with you guys and having a good time, learning the game mechanics and joking about the game and stuff like that. So I think today let's keep going. All right, let's keep rolling with it. Let's see if you guys keep, chilling and hanging out and supporting, and we'll see how it goes and go from there. Excuse me. And this week, by the end of this week, I think we should make a determination will we keep playing Death Stranding 2, or do we decide we've seen enough? All right, let's find out. Because sadly, there's just no way to really judge by the on-demand viewership right now. It just seems to be the least viewed playthrough I've done in ages. I don't know why. I really don't. I have no clue. It doesn't seem to be an indication that anyone hates the game, or but maybe people think the game is boring. I can't argue with you there. The gameplay loop is not exactly the most exciting, and neither was it for the first game. But that's what they went for. It's the same game again. So I guess we'll see if that changes as we get further into the game. But right now, it's incredibly samey to the first game. I don't think there's even been really a new gameplay element. So let's see. All right. Okay. So Death Stranding 2 today, and then tonight's late stream will be exciting. It's our weekly American Truck Simulator stream. Yes, I'll be drinking. In fact, guess what? I've gotten some of the competitors' drinks to White Claw. It's called Truly Seltzers, but the one that's the stronger one, that's the equivalent to the White Claw Surge I've been drinking, it's called Truly Unruly. So it's a competitor seltzer. And we're going to be trying that tonight while I'm doing American Truck Sim. And we are going to be doing new states and maps because we bought those during the Steam Summer Sale stream that I did on Thursday night. So we have like 7 different states to pick from. We could go to Texas. We could go to Oklahoma. We can go to one of many states. I forgot all of them, but there's like 7 new states. So whatever you guys want to do, we can go there. We can drive around and have a good time. So I'm excited for that. Tonight on the late stream, come on by and see Phil continue to truck it across the country, now in new locations, okay? Now, tomorrow will be Blueprints. Now, before you freaking go crazy, before you writhe and scream in agony and pain, you rip your shirt off and you jump out your window, all right? We're nearing the end of Blueprints. What I'm going to understand, we're in the home stretch. What we're trying to do now is get a way to draft the treasure trove outside of the mansion. This allows us to get the final items. Then we got to draft the throne room and get into room 46 again so we can get the crown, the scepter, and I guess there's another item. And then we go into this throne room, and that's the end of the game. Apparently, there is more past it, but that's really where most people end playing because it takes so long to even get that far, okay? So we are going to do a Blueprint stream tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get to end game and finish it. We'll see, but I would like to see if we can finish it. Now, tomorrow also, we may be doing DSP Tries It, but we need the support. If you support the streams today, and with that support tomorrow, we're doing it. Grillo's Pickles menu on that very stream, okay? Tomorrow night on the late stream, it is our weekly Minecraft chill stream. Last week, we set out and we did open world exploration. If you remember, I think this week what I would like to do is focus on trying to grow a super tree on the top of my house and turning it into a tree house. So that's probably going to be our focus tomorrow night, okay? Then on Tuesday, the day stream will be the premiere of Grand Theft Auto 4 with mods. It's almost ready to go, meaning this mod suite of stuff that I'm going to install, including resolution upgrade, lighting shader upgrade, behavioral upgrades, map changes, all kinds of stuff. It's almost ready to go. And then it's going to be GTA 4 with all of these mods on the day stream on Tuesday. It should be very exciting, and I hope you'll join me for the beginning of this awesome playthrough. Then on Tuesday night, it will be Mario Kart World Knockout Tour online gameplay. You guys have seemed to really like this over the course of the last few weeks since the game came out. So we're going to keep up with that and keep it in the rotation. Then on Wednesday, the day stream again will be Death Stranding 2. And Wednesday night, we're going to be doing Taxi Life, the taxi driving sim. Now, I was told that there's a DLC for the game, but I'm not aware what it is. I think it has something to do with like sightseeing tours, but I didn't look into it. If you guys like Taxi Life, and maybe we can look into it when we play on Wednesday night, see what it is. And if you guys like it, maybe we'll get it. I don't know what the difference is between it and the base game. I think it has something to do with you're a tour guide rather than a taxi driver. So you're like driving around things to see in Barcelona, which could be pretty neat, I guess. So I guess we'll talk about that on Wednesday night, okay? And then on Thursday, more GTA 4 with mods, and Thursday night fights. That's right. Fighting games will be Thursday night this week instead of Friday. It will be Capcom versus SNK2, and I'll be applying all the stuff that I learned playing the great players on Friday to the randoms online. I think we'll go back to PlayStation because I did try to play the randoms on PC, and man, it lagged. It lagged like crazy. So I think I'm going to go back to PlayStation this time and see if we can find some comp over there. And so that'll be fun. Thursday night fights. Okay, now, Friday is the big day. All right, everyone. What's up? By the way, a lot of people are saying hello. What's going on? How are you, Chris? How are you, lukewarm coconut? What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Okay, so Friday is the big day. Friday is Indivestance Day. What does that mean? This is a vest. A puffy vest. It's the kind that you would wear in like the fall when you don't really want to wear a heavy outdoor jacket, but you also don't want to wear something too light. This is the original beige vest. That's correct. This vest I first put on in like 2010 in a random video. All right. And this is the vest that started it all. The vest streak, the summer of vests in 2020. And it led to a cultural revolution of people realizing you don't have to get naked on a stream to get money, that you can actually do it the other way and put stuff on and actually still receive money. That's correct. I was the one who revolutionized this concept. All the other idiot dunces were taking their clothes off and sitting in inflatable pools full of jello and writing names all over their bodies like ludicrous idiots. I said, no, why do that? Instead, you could put clothes on and still make a living. And this lasted for 4 years. And then finally last year, I phased it out and said, I've had enough. We're not going to do this anymore. But what's happened is some people, they're nostalgic, right? They think back to the past. Man, I miss those days when Phil would pop on a pair of Gunner glasses and put on a silly googly jiggling hat and put on a vest and joke about it and laugh with all of us and look like an idiot playing video games. And so, per popular demand, this Friday, one day only, Indivestance Day, on July 4th, while we're celebrating our national independence here in the United States, I will bring back the hats, the vests, and the Gunner glasses, and I will be wearing them on stream. For every $50 of support raised, I'll be swapping out. So when the first $50 is hit, there's a poll. Would you like to see the Bender hat, the Ken slash Squall or Cloud wig from Final Fantasy VII, the Luffy straw hat, or the red fedora? And you'll vote. And then whatever wins the vote, I put on that hat. Then when we hit $100 of support, we do a vote. Do you want to see the beige vest, the denim vest, the Pokemon vest, or the Marty McFly vest? And you vote, whatever wins, I put on a vest. For every $100 of support raised, I'm going to drink. And I got a whole bunch of liquor. Just listen to this. First off, I rebought those 99 flavors of fruits party pack that I did many, many months ago. People seem to like to pick the different flavors of fruit of the 99 shots that I was doing. So I got that again. But I got some other stuff. I got horchata shots. It's basically rum with like dairy mixed together. Now, I've never had horchata before. I've heard good things. So there are little things you can take shots of horchata as well. I also got some little flavored moonshine shots. No, not the insane blue flame disgusting moonshine that I had a few marathons ago that I got sick drinking. But actually, I'm talking about the real tasty flavored stuff like apple pie or mango habanero or fruit punch. So I have a few of those to go as well. And I got a bottle of blended Scotch whiskey that is a very, very seafaring but also smoky flavor to it. So it's like sea salt and smoke. So I have all of this stuff. Plus I have some tequila too. So I have a bunch of stuff available for shots during the course of the day. So like I said, every $100 raised, I'll take a shot of whatever you want. So we can do a vote. Do you want one of the moonshines? Do you want the horchata? Do you want a party shot of the fruits? And then we'll go from there. Okay? Now, in addition to all of that going on Friday, I'm going to be cleaning out this closet because it is insanely cluttered with crap. What we need to do is go through this and figure out what is good stuff to save, whether for the business, like equipment, or for the background setups. Because right now, as you know, I've changed my background setups dramatically. I'm not doing the same kind of backgrounds anymore that I was for a long time there due to my upgrades of RGB lighting and cameras and everything. So I got to see, what do I want to save and what do I want to get rid of? Okay. So I'm very confused and I need your help while we clean this stuff out. By the way, there'll be other fun stuff to see in there as well. Collectibles, artwork, my games collection I haven't shown in like 4 years now. So it'll be fun. It'll actually be a fun event. And we'll be doing that over the course of the day while I'm hamming it up, wearing the hats and the vests and all of that. Now, in addition to that, my wife is going to be making some food. She's going to be making like some barbecue chicken, some homemade mac and cheese. So it's going to be fun because we're going to have like cookout style food while also we're doing that, while also there's booze and all kinds of clothing and everything involved. It's going to be a very fun day. Now, I'm well aware that many of you will not be able to attend on Friday because it's actually July 4th, Independence Day. And I did some math, and it looks like about 50% of my audience is American and about 50% is international. For many of you, it's just a normal day. It's not a big deal at all. So you're going to be here, right? It's no big deal. If you're American, I get it. If you can't be here on Independence Day because you'll be busy celebrating with your friends or family, well, there's only one thing that I have to say about that. Have a good time, but just understand you'll be missing out on something that's far more interesting. You should cancel all of your plans right now. Just forego your family and friends. They'll always be there. I may not. So you got to come and hang out. You got to come and hang out with me on the marathon. What's more important? Seeing me wear hats and vests, drinking and cleaning out my closet while stuffing my face with American-style food? Or spending time with your loved ones? Who wants to do that? Not me, that's for sure. Cancel the fireworks, cancel the cookouts, cancel the flag football, cancel anything you were thinking. None of it is important, all right? Nothing could possibly be more important than this marathon. Do you understand me? And that's just the God's honest truth, and everyone knows it. You want to spend time with the king. Forget everybody else. Anyway, to be honest with all of you, I'm not too worried about it. I think that even if a lot of Americans cannot make it to this event on Friday, it's still going to be a good event. I think we'll still get a good audience. And by the way, I'm doing it all day long. The stream will start around 11:30 a.m. It'll progress to like 8 to 9 p.m. At any point, I'm sure you're going to have a free few minutes just to drop by and say hello. It's all good. Whenever I do a big event like this, especially because it's like a holiday event, it'd be great to see as many people come by as possible. You want to see me in all the vests one last time. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take the vests, the hats, I'm going to put them in the storage. I have storage bins. I'm going to put them in a storage bin, and then they'll be in retirement, but maybe every once in a while, we'll bring them out of retirement. Maybe we could do a fun summertime. Maybe Independence Day can actually end up being an annual event. Much like my Halloween marathon and my Christmas marathon, maybe Independence Day can start being something we do every year for a summertime vibe, and we have the vests and the hats and all the silliness. Thank God I have the new air conditioner to keep me nice and cool when I'm wearing these vests and hats and shit inside, because some of that stuff makes me sweat. Seriously, that's one of the major reasons I wanted to stop wearing them, is because they actually make me sweat during the hot summertime. So I'm excited. I have way more hats than vests, for the record, so I'll have to see how we can make this go. All right. Cool. All right. So that's Friday. One other quick thing. I am going to be having a 2-day weekend next week. Both Saturday and Sunday, I will be off from streaming. I will return on Monday the 7th. Monday, July 7th, I believe, because Friday is the 4th. Yeah. So Monday, July 7th, I'll be back. We'll continue on with all the ongoing playthroughs and everything that week. And then remember that Friday, the 11th, is the first big new game release of July, which is Tony Hawk 3 and 4 Collection. Okay? So there you go. So that's the plan. A fun week of Death Stranding, GTA 4 with mods, a little bit of Blueprints, a different night stream every single night between Truck Sim, Mario Kart, Minecraft, fighting games, Taxi Life, and then Friday, Independence Day. What a freaking week. right? What a week. That's probably one of the best weeks I've ever put out in my entire run, 17 years on the internet. It's amazing. All right? There you go. All right. Prophet Warner gifted a membership. Thank you, Prophet Warner, for the gifted membership. Let's get that on the leaderboard. That's the first membership of the week. So now we're up to 33 bucks of support. All right. Well, guys, guess what? That's what I had for this morning. That's what I wanted to talk about and cover. All right. What do you guys want to chat about today? All right. Hit me up. Tag me in the chats. Actually, what I will do is let me type into the kick chat because you guys might be having difficulty tagging me, right? Because it probably timed out. Let's see what you guys want to chat about today. All right. Let's get you what's on your mind. Let me know. And let's do some Q&A to end the show for the last half hour here or so. And, let's do some shout outs for contributions. Let's get that momentum flowing so we can hit that goal and do DSP Tries It tomorrow. So Habib did a £2 super chat. What are you liking? How are you liking Death Stranding 2? It's like I said, Habib, when I first played Death Stranding 1, I went into it not knowing what the game was. And to be frank, I always thought that maybe the deliveries were kind of like a red herring and something crazy was going to happen. And to some extent it does. There's some boss fights and stuff in there. But let's be honest. For the most part, it's just deliveries, right? And they are tedious and they are incredibly time consuming. And it's pretty nuts that that's what the game was. This time around, since you've already played Death Stranding 1, you already know what it is. So it's not a shock that this is what it is. And already having the background of how to do these deliveries and things makes it a lot more better streamlined. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing, you saw the stack of shit I had on my back on Friday and I was still able to do that delivery and I got a bunch of rewards for it. So I feel like this will be easier, but at the same time, people are saying actually the game does get more crazy and different the further in you get. So I guess we'll see. But for now, I think I'm actually enjoying this game more than the first. All right, because I feel we know what's going on and we understand the game mechanics better. It's not cryptic anymore because we already know them. And to be honest, I like the interactive streams. Years ago, yes, I talked with the audience and everything, but now I think we've got this down pat, right? We're flowing. We talk, we chat. I'm able to play while I still talk with people, have fun conversation. So I feel like even though some of these deliveries have been tedious as heck, we're still talking, we're chatting while I'm doing them, so it's not super boring. So it seems better than the first one, but at the same time, like I said, I've definitely noticed the attendance has not done well. Already I can tell you the stream on Friday, people left when we started playing the game. The views on YouTube are not good. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why people don't care about Death Stranding 2. Like I said, it's not like people are like, oh, well, it's because, Phil's boring. We're not going to watch him. No, people are watching my other stuff. Like I'm literally getting more views on every other playthrough I've done in the last several months than on Death Stranding 2. So it's the game. If I can get views on other stuff and not on this game, it's the game. It's not me, you see? Is Jasper afraid of fireworks? Only to the extent where if there's like out of nowhere, if it's silent and all of a sudden there's a loud shaking explosion, everyone's going to jump at that. Correct? Everyone's going to jump at that. But he's not overly afraid. He's more afraid of rain because the rain, we have skylights and you can hear the rain hitting glass and it actually scares him more than, say, the fireworks. So. Oh my goodness. X Shooter, how are you today? Good morning, man. Hearts to Heart says, what's your favorite summertime memory? I would probably say, when I was a kid, I played a lot outdoors and the neighborhood kids were awesome and we would always play, different kinds of stuff together, whether it was with action figures and toys or if it was, if it was like running around with water guns. We used to have these water guns, water pistols, but also automatic, like the ones you put batteries in and you just hold the trigger and they go ba-doom, 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 like shooting water. Super soakers, the one you would supercharge with the pump, with the air. Those were cool. And also water balloons. We used to toss around. That was fun. And I also remember we used to love to play badminton in my driveway. We actually had a net that we would put up, and it was nice because in the afternoons, the house would block the sun, so it wouldn't be super bright or hot, so you could play badminton in the driveway and really enjoy it. And we used to do that a lot. So that's probably my favorite summertime memories from when I was a kid. I don't know how many mods will be installed for GTA 4. Like I said, someone's working on it for me and kind of asking me, would you be interested in this? Would you be interested in this? Would you be interested in this? And I told them the ones I'm interested in. So it's being put together right now. In fact, I probably should check by tonight and see, is it ready to go so I can install it and test it and everything. We'll have to see. I really advertise the daily wrap. How do I think the show is going? I never advertise the daily wrap. For those who don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't. I have a show called The Daily Wrap. That's just a quick video that I do at the end of my streaming day every day. And in this video, I just recap everything that I've done during the day, whether there were any interesting topics on this podcast, any happenings during the day, what happened in the 2 gameplay streams I did, etc. It's just like a summary, the daily wrap. You get it? And I put that out at the end of the day. Sometimes the daily wrap does really well if something interesting has happened and people want to hear about it without having to watch all my other content. Some people just watch the daily wrap to say, hey, is there anything that Phil did today I'm interested in? And if I don't talk about it in the daily wrap, they're like, oh, well, then I'm not going to check out the videos for today. And that's fine. It serves a purpose. Okay. It's just crazy because sometimes the daily wrap, if something toxic or negative happened and I mention it, it always gets more views. For whatever reason, people are weird. They love toxic, negative content. So if it's like, oh man, things went bad today, a piece of equipment broke, for some reason a stream didn't go well or whatever, my internet went out, boom, the daily wrap will have thousands of views. Everyone's, oh, something bad happened, let's hear about it. It was a really good day, and I'm like, wow, best stream ever. Support was great. Gameplay was astounding. We determined what we're going to be doing for 3 more goals. Excellent ideas came out of it. I'll get like 2 views on the daily wrap. No one cares. People are just messed up, man. Seriously. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited for the content this week, and the daily wrap will tell you at the end of every day how the content went. Here you go. Am I aware that Pirate Software used to work at Blizzard? What is Pirate Software? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Anyway, what's the light theme today? Well, after sweating it out on Friday and feeling incredibly hot all day long, I set the light theme to be underwater. So it's supposed to simulate if you're like in an underwater dive and you got some, things going on. So that's all it is. Variations of like different shades of blue with a tinge of green. No, I don't have a giant calendar. I haven't had that in like 5-6 years. I don't do that anymore. All of our gaming schedule, as you know, is put into this game release schedule file that I have on my desktop that we open up from time to time and take a look at. Oh, this is why I didn't remember what else was in July. Ludo. Is that game even going to be any good? Ludo. And then Grounded 2. That's why I didn't really put it in there because there's not much going on in July. And then August, first week of August is Mafia the Old Country. And then after that, there's nothing till the end of the month. So that's what I mean when I say GTA 4 with mods will work for now for like early July through July. And then probably August will do Suikoden 2 HD. There's time for that too. There you go. No one's playing Wu Chang. Don't even mention that. Wu Chang, another shitty ass fucking Soulsborne knockoff that no one cares about, including me. I'm not wasting time. That's the same as fucking Wolong Fallen bullshit. It sucked ass too. I'm not playing fucking Wu Chang Clan. All right, what else would you guys like to talk about today? And by the way, let's get some support. Let's get some super chats, super stickers, memberships, tips, and subs. Let's go. Let's get momentum going. So we have that momentum heading into Death Stranding 2, and we don't have to worry about it for the gameplay. Let's hit the goal. Let's get those Grillo's pickles. Grillo's freaking pickles. Don't you want to see me take a delicious Grillo's pickle and shove it in my mouth and chop it off and start eating it? That's tomorrow, but we have to hit these goals. Let's do it. Grillo's pickles, baby. Death Stranding 2 is 33 hours long, says the villain. 33 hours long? Is that true? So it will only take me 3 months to beat that instead of 7. Cool. Well, GOG just called me out on Kick and says, The Grillo's pickles that come with the Sonic meal are chips, not spears, so you can't do that. All right. So what you want to see me do is take that Grillo's smash burger from Sonic and just put it in my mouth and go, I see grease flying everywhere, pickle chips flying, ranch squirting out of my nose. You want it. You know you want it. Come on. You want to see me take the tots and take a whole handful and go, right in my mouth. Come on. I know you want it. You know you want it. So get it. Get it going. Parasolo says, feast like the ancient Vikings. That's right. Feast like it hurts. Ah, burger. Oh, fries. A drink. A pickle drink. Yes. Biggest that when you're done with the meal, the entire mess hall is destroyed. The tables are broken, splintered. The chairs are on the ceiling. That's right. That's how you're supposed to eat. That's how food was meant to be ingested. Correct. Today, we're all pussies. It's like, it's time for my Grillo's pickle meal. Let me take my fork and knife. Oh, a pickle. Let me slice it into little quadrants. Oh, now I take this dainty little fork. Anyway, Spawn Killer says, remember the years from 2007 to 2010? We actually had original games like Resistance, Infamous, Prototype, and Singularity. Basically, there was tons of innovation during that 360 PS3 era. When we jumped into the Xbox One PS4 era, it's like all creativity was completely stifled. Now, every game needs to be formulaic. It has to fit into this little category or this little genre or this little... Because instead of games being designed by creative minds and artists, they now were designed in a boardroom with a bunch of people in suits who would come in and they button their shirts up. Well, we need to make the profits for this quarter. We need to have dividends paid to the shareholders. So, what are we going to put out? And the next guy would say, well, sir, we heard that Battle Royale is very popular right now. Oh, Battle Royale. Oh, delightful and splendid. Let's have a game with a ring that comes in on a one-set map, and you have to stay within the ring to survive within a certain period of time. And you must eliminate all of your opponents. Wait, this sounds familiar. Yes, sir, there's about 17,000 games like that right now, but they're all printing money. Okay, well, let's make another one. And so they green light it, they slam it, and then another one comes out, and it flops because it comes out 5 years too fucking late. That's been the whole last decade of games. Seriously, that's the whole decade. Garbage. Trash. Give me a good game, for God's sakes. Give me a good game that's original and different. Why do you think a game company can make a game like Clair Obscur or a game like Blue Prince? You know, these games that said, we're not going to just do what everyone else has done. We're either going to improve upon it and give you the absolute best in class on way less of a budget that everyone else is doing, or we're going to do something completely different. And then they work. Those are the games that are going to resonate and be remembered. Not the 17th Battle Royale, the 27th Looter Shooter, the 32nd Soulsborne. Jesus Christ, enough Souls-likes. Fuck off and make something new and original, you fucking uncreative shitbags. Stop pumping out the same crap out of your asses. P. Wood, or P. Wad, did a $1.99 super chat. No, a pound and 99 pence super chat. Who's your celebrity lookalike? I love the show. Well, people would say either Ricky Gervais or the actor who plays Dante in Clerks. All right, that's what everyone says. Me, I prefer to think like maybe like a Brad Pitt or John Stamos, but you know, I might be looking through a different pair of glasses than everybody else, you know. Parasolos has been said many times, game companies don't want to take artistic risks. Yeah, and that's why nothing pays off anymore. Let's not do an artistic risk. Instead, let's make Suicide Squad. Wow, that worked, didn't it? Hey, let's make Concord. You know, that's totally not been done before. Have I ever experienced an earthquake? Actually, I have, but I never noticed. You know, there's a couple reasons. Number one, I live at high elevation. I actually live way up top of this big area. Right next to me is this area called the Valley. If there was an earthquake, they would feel it a lot worse than me because I'm more elevated. That's also why I don't get like some of the bad weather and stuff out here. I kind of get isolated from it being as high up as I am. Okay. That's number one. But there have been earthquakes here in Washington that everyone claims that they hit. I've never felt one ever. And it could just be a variety of factors. It could be that we actually live right near the airport, so we constantly have planes going over our home. So you already hear that and you feel a little bit of shaking sometimes. So maybe I already think it's that, or I would think in the back of my mind that's what it is, so I don't even notice it. That's what it could very well be. I don't know. But no, I've never really apparently I've been in earthquakes, but I haven't really noticed them. The villain says, "You look like the guy who's the leader of the Ghostbusters." There is no guy who's the leader of the Ghostbusters. Egon is the brains slash nerdy scientist. Ray is also a scientist, but he's more like this kind of out there, over positive, bubbly personality guy. Peter Venkman is kind of he's charismatic, but he's an asshole and is the lackadaisical kind of I don't want to work kind of guy. And then there's Winston, who's the hired help, but ends up being kind of like the hardest worker of all of them because he wants his paycheck. So there is no leader of the Ghostbusters. I don't know. I don't know who you would think I look like. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. I don't look like Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis was a very skinny, nerdy looking guy. I don't look anything like him. I would say, in ways, you could say I look like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. Leroy did a $2 super chat. I look like Jack Black. You think? Wow. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say I look like Jack Black before. Huh. There you go. Of course, what you all mean to say is that these people look like me. You know. When I eat DSP tries it at 4 p.m., is it lunch or dinner or dinner? When I first get up in the morning, I have breakfast. Then I'm on stream from 11 a.m. until after 4 p.m. So there's no lunch. Basically, the next meal that I have is my dinner. And that I usually eat around between 4:35 p.m. Excuse me, I felt the burp coming. And then some nights, if I'm hungry, I'll have a snack. Some nights I don't. It depends on the night. It depends on how heavy the dinner was as well. So it depends. So usually I just eat breakfast and dinner and maybe a snack at night before I go to sleep, but it depends on the night. So there you go. RoboCop or the Terminator? They're both fun. They're both good. I would say RoboCop, sadly, kind of jumped the shark earlier. Like, if you look at Terminator 1 and 2 are outstanding. Terminator 3 was still good, but not as good as the first two, right? But it took longer for Terminator to get to that point. While RoboCop, the first two movies were good, and the third was dog shit. And then they had a TV series that was even worse, and by then it just sucked ass. And there really hasn't been anything good besides the game, right? Like, that was good. But, Terminator has its ups and downs. It gets revived. There's a good movie. Then it gets revived again, and there's a movie that's complete crap. So, yeah. Did I like Brutal Legend? I remember liking Jack Black in Brutal Legend and some of the plot. The gameplay elements I was not in love with. I remember thinking it was just okay, and that it probably would have performed better as more of a PC-style RTS rather than the casualized game it was for consoles. Well, Mark, my day off was very busy. Yesterday, I was busy getting rid of a broken air conditioner, bringing in a new one, and installing it. And then I had to go out and run my errands and things for the day. So it was a very busy day for me. I'm actually quite sore from all the stuff that I did, physically. My muscles are all sore. But overall, it was a fine day off, I suppose. Nothing terrible happened or anything like that. So I'm not going to complain. Why do I eat dinner so early? Well, there's a combination of factors. Factor number one is that I'm from the East Coast. So if you do the time, when I lived on the East Coast, my dinner would be eaten around like 7 to 8 p.m. So with the 3-hour time difference, technically I'm still eating dinner at exactly the same time that I used to when I lived on the East Coast. It just hasn't changed, you see? So there you go. But in addition, I have to eat my dinner between streams. What else am I going to eat? I'm not going to sit here eating a meal in front of you every day. I want to eat dinner with my wife. So we have to coordinate it so I can have a meal with my wife between the streams, and that's the time frame to do it. That's why. Did I see Terminator Dark Fate yet? No. Last Terminator movie I saw was Genesis. I did not see Dark Fate. All right, guys, we got a few more minutes left of the podcast. Enough with this dragging the feet. Let's get some support. We're at $39 of support. Let's get to the goal. Let's get some support right now. How about some super chats? How about a sub? How about a tip, a juicy tip? Let's get some incentive. Let's get some movement. Let's get some momentum going as we get towards the Grillo's pickle meal for tomorrow. We got to hit that goal or else we're going to have to wait. Do you want to wait? Wouldn't you like to do something on the day it releases? Wouldn't you like to see it as brand spanking new, that I'm one of the first people on the planet to try this meal and review it rather than being days behind? Did you know by the time that I got to do the Takis menu at Wendy's, everyone else had already done it? Everyone. They all beat me because we didn't hit the goals. We're right in position. Only 3 goals to go. We can do it. We just need motivation. I just want to race. I just want to race. I just want to race. You see? That's what you'll have to watch for the rest of the stream. Come on. Let's get some support going. Anyway. All right, I'll see you guys. We got a few more minutes. What do you want to chat about? Tag me. Here we go. Jimmy DeSanto with a $5 super chat. That's what I'm talking about. He says, yo, Big Pimpin' P, welcome back. Stay cool today. You straight up look like my dad, Michael, but way cooler. Hey, chat, let's show P some love from the jizzle. Thank you so very much. How nice of you. A generous $5 contribution to get us to 44 and climbing. Thank you. GOG, I have no idea what you're talking about. It sounds like you're spoiling the game, and you should stop. Because if you spoil, I'm going to have to slap you through the internet and ban you from the chat. So please don't spoil the game. Am I on the front page of Kick? Dimitri's not around. Right? Dimitri, are you here? Did you put me on the front page of Kick? If you did, thank you. I appreciate that. I haven't seen Dimitri in a bit. Been a week or two, at least. So, well, if I'm on the front page of Kick, thank you, whoever put me there. And everyone here, welcome. We're just ending my daily podcast, and we're going to jump into some Death Stranding 2 gameplay momentarily. We're actually finishing up the intro Mexico plot line. We actually just unlocked the first vehicle in the game. We're about to drive it back and retrace our steps back to the beginning and then see what happens. So, should be an interesting stream today. Everyone's quiet now. What's going on? We're about to end the show, and I said, let's do some final Q&A, and then everyone clammed up. Any last minute stuff, guys, or no? Should we just end the show? If that's the case, that's fine. But I just, we were doing good here. We had good momentum, and then we got someone just, everyone clammed up. What happened? Do they sell Grillo's pickles at the grocery store in my area? I completely forgot to look because we talked about this last week, and you guys told me it was in the refrigerated section. It totally slipped my mind. I didn't check my grocery store yesterday. I should have to see what they are and everything, but nah, I didn't check, so I don't know. Do I know any Megadeth songs? I had a Megadeth album in the 2000s, but I can't remember what it was. I have no idea if any of the songs were actually known or popular. What is the next DSP tries it after Sonic? Well, we haven't figured it out yet, but I was thinking Taco Bell, because Taco Bell has, number one, a new burrito and taco that has a chicken tender in it, so I could try those. And number two, they have a Tony Hawk snacks meal that's like a cheese quesadilla, a standard taco, But I think it's supposed to have Tony Hawk packaging, and I believe it gives you a code that you can use in the actual Tony Hawk collection coming up. So I think maybe that would be good to do because it's kind of dual purpose. It's Tony Hawk and this new chicken tender meal, chicken tender menu items. Try 2 things at once. Can I eat lamb? Very sparingly. It's red meat. I cannot eat a lot of red meat, so very sparingly. Can we see the new air conditioning unit? No, you can't. It's over there, installed. No, you can't see it. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances. It's my little secret. What a silly question. I don't know if I buy a new toilet seat. Do you want to see that too? You want to see my toilet with the toilet seat installed? Right? If I get a new pair of sheets, do you want to see me put them on the bed? No. No. Stupid question. Would I consider playing Mario in the Thousand Year Door again? I told you guys I want to play it. I bought it, installed it, and did a little bit of it during that marathon a few months back. I actually really enjoyed it, and I want to do a playthrough of it. I don't think now is the time. I think what we're going to do is this GTA 4 with mods, which people were craving, soy code N2 HD. If we get through, let's say, this summer and we have some extra time, then maybe we'll do it. We'll put it in a rotation. But for now, I think we have this other stuff to do while balancing with other releases. I think we're good. But let's see how the summer, goes. Go with the flow. No one is craving GTA 4 modded, then why did everyone vote for it? We had polls in these chats last week to say, what do you guys want to see coming up? And everyone voted for GTA 4 in droves. It was by far the big majority, right? Yeah, so far I'm enjoying Death Stranding 2. I am. I'm curious to see how the vehicle will work today because I have a vehicle, but apparently it's going to need massive recharge and the battery's going to run out easily. So I wonder if we're going to have to keep putting down a lot of these recharge stations or what. I don't know. Have to see how the mechanics work. No, that's completely false. You guys voted for GTA 4 as well. Both Kick and YouTube chats voted for GTA 4. That's a lie. On Kick, it was like 58%, and on YouTube, it was like 52%. So, nice try. Okay, guys, it is time to end the show. Thank you for chilling with me here. There will be a podcast tomorrow, but again, this week I'm doing limited podcasting. There will not be a show on Tuesday for the premiere of GTA 4 with mods. There's definitely not going to be a full podcast on Friday. Instead, there'll be like an intro to the Indivestance Day. And I'm debating what days to do podcasts and which days to not. We'll see. But thank you all for a great show. I hope that you are staying cool during this summertime fun. And remember that you can always hang out with me here on DSP Gaming for a variety of different stuff every single day. I'll see you all tomorrow, but I hope that you will stick around for all the fun gameplay festivities coming for the rest of today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Monday.